put your jeans on.
It's only Black Forest.
For the edit.
They represent around 11.6% of all households, and that equates to around 15% of the electorate. Typically living in homes built in the last 5 years on brownfield sites, on the periphery of small provincial towns and cities with easy access of the motorway networks. The other interesting thing about Motorway Man is that they're very, very materialistic. They are they're young, childless couples. They're not really attached to the communities in which they're living. They're very career-minded. Money is really important to this group. Getting a step on the career ladder is absolutely essential for this group. They've got their houses full of all the latest Blu-ray and HD and new cars on the drive, and it's very much sort of keeping up with the Joneses sort of mentality.
Come back to the state of the roads. They have got disgraceful. We pay so much in petrol tax, and I think that is one of my biggies. I think it's disgraceful how much you pay on tax.
Fuel costs, I probably drive 1,000 miles every 3 weeks with my job, so again it's all the fuel and stuff like that. So
we're in so much debt, it's quite concerning really, to be honest, what the future. I'm 27, so the future's sort of like looking for me as well. How long are we going to be paying this debt off for?
Just changed the way of the village in that there's more people in the schools, more children in the schools. My sister lives in a village up the road. Her child is in a class of maybe 10 or 15, the children here in a class of 30 possibly.
And they're doing shops down there now, hairdressers down there. So they are building a little community down on that estate.
Which won't affect the village.
Which won't affect the village.
Yeah.
Are actually out on the street is so rare by the Liberal Democrats, mainly to give the other two parties a kick up the backside.
And what have you, sorry to interrupt, what have you
been about?
Are you happy with the Lib Dem cuts? That
it's all going to be efficiency savings and that, and I just can't bring myself to believe.
We've seen that Motorway Man in 2005 was very much a Labour voter. In fact, earlier than that, the equivalent group in '97 would have voted Blair. Now we're seeing a big shift towards the Conservatives with this particular group. They're very sort of driven by personality politics, the X Factor generation. So in that sense, they're attracted to the next new thing. So it was Blair in '97. This time round, it's more likely to be Cameron than it is to be Brown.
promising initially. I voted for them then, which was the first time I'd voted for them. Since then, it's just seems to have got worse and worse, and no better than the previous governments I've been in. And the last 5 years, unelected Prime Minister, pretty much a disaster as far as I'm concerned.
I feel I have to engage with someone before I voted for them. I'd be interested to watch the Prime Ministerial debates to see how they perform there. That may play a big part. But I'd like to think I'd vote on mainly on policy, but personality will certainly come into it.
Good evening and welcome to the first election debate. Over the past 50 years, there have been numerous attempts to get the leaders of the three biggest political parties to debate with each other during an election. Tonight, history in the making, as we are joined by the leader.
1 week and the results to them.
So I want to say to people, let's be straight with you. We're going to have to find savings in the NHS. I want to see, for instance, for the NHS, for exact question properly. And that is, we've got to have a fundamental defence review of all that we spend and all that we do and all the equipment.
Do you think you know any more about the three individuals than you did 2 hours ago?
I don't think so. No, I don't think I've learned anything more. I think where the country would have learned a lot more is again about Nick Clegg. A lot of people wouldn't have necessarily known who he was, who don't keep up with politics day to day. So he certainly will have gained from that more than anyone. But from a personal standpoint, I think I still view them pretty much in the same way.